in one of the books, it says the definition of coach is to help someone get to where they want to go when they can't do it themselves, and doing it with enthusiasm. That's a long, you know, definition there, but I say that, I share that to just kind of drive home the fact that, like, I think sometimes that's all some people really need. They need somebody there. You don't have to be an expert, but if you're just more enthusiastic about their success than they are, or at least match it if they are, enthusiastic. That kind of powers them. It's like a battery power in their back, and boom, and they go and they take off.
It's your boy Verse, and this is Open Mic with OTR Mike.
Yeah.
Yo, what up, good people? It's your boy OTR Mike. First, welcome to another episode of Open Mic with yours truly. That's right, man. This is the show where the mic is open for any discussion, no matter what it is, who it is, or where it is. And today will be no different. But let me start the show like I always do, and thank you guys for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. You could be anywhere, man, but you're here. You're rocking with your boy. So as I start every show, I always say I won't be before you long. Sometimes that's the truth. Sometimes it's stretched a little bit, but I'm going to attempt that. But today, I have a special guest with me to talk on this particular topic that is near and dear to both of us. We were in the nitty gritty of what this particular topic is about, which is youth sports, man. So I had to bring my boy OTR Brandon, who will be joining me today. What up, B? What up, OTR Brandon?
What's up,
Yeah.
man?
What up? So I had to get my man with me because, as I said, man, this is something that's near and dear to us. We were in the nitty gritty in all of the AAU sports, well, basketball anyway, because we started our own program way back when. I don't even know how long ago that was. It was a minute ago, but we you talk about starting something from the ground up, so we know the ins and outs and the struggles and the and the good times, the good moments of creating a program and dealing with youth sports in itself. So I stumbled across a video, right? And the brother was talking about, how he feels poor people or disadvantaged people or kids are being priced out of youth sports. So I'm gonna play the clip. It's about a minute long, so bear with us, and then we'll get it going.
Changes to the youth basketball landscape is the fact that poor people are being priced out. 10 years ago, the assumption was that the kid from the projects was going to be more athletic, bigger, stronger, faster, more skilled, and just tougher than the kid from the suburbs. But now, with the influx of personalized skill training, weight training, nutrition planning, all the things that the pros do now becoming standard at younger and younger levels, the kid from the suburbs has caught up to and basically past the kid from the projects. If you can't afford personalized skill training, how are you supposed to keep up? The next thing is that the expectations have changed. People want a quote unquote finished product at a younger and younger age, so kids have less time to develop socially, emotionally, academically, and the time that was normally given for you to be able to help kids work past some of the issues that might have come from being in a disadvantaged situation just doesn't exist. So now those resources are going to an international kid that's showing up and is 6'8", 6'10", 7 feet, that also doesn't have some of those issues. They've already been vetted before they get their I-20. Add to this the advent of social media and the fact that kids don't even get to make mistakes in private. And most people are looking at the cost of doing this and saying, am I going to invest my resources and also attach my job to a kid that has issues that might get me fired? The fact is, a lot of this stuff is tied to kids' socioeconomic status, and poor people are being priced out, and nobody's talking about it.
Very interesting comments. There's a lot there that I agree with, some of which, slightly disagree with. But either way, I think his main point, um, I do agree with. What say you, OTR Brandon? What do you think about? And shout out to Court Balance 101. I know that's his IG handle. He
Mm.
does a lot of things like that, so check him out. But that's who I got the clip from. So what say you, OTR Brandon? What do you think about the clip I just played?
Uh, I mean, I don't know the statistics behind it, but I mean, it sounds like logical. I mean, I think it would be. I mean, it's an unfortunate situation yet again for those who may be doing with less. Um, but I mean, look, these. I don't know, man. That is tough for those who really are, you know, trying to do better. They don't have the resources. Their parents can't afford to take them to specialized training, and that's expensive. I'm sorry to do that with Junior. It's not cheap. So it is unfortunate for those who don't have. I feel for them.
Yeah, and a couple of things you said, like the kids are, it could be coming from the specialized training that's going on now. But these kids are different, right? Like, there
Yeah.
was a clip recently played. I think Lamar Jackson had retweeted this clip on Twitter of like seventh graders, like in the layup line, like 360 dunking.
Duncan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, these kids are different. Like we didn't the
Mhm.
kids we dealt with were about that age, and trust me, they weren't doing that. Albeit, they were athletes in their own
Yeah.
right. But so it is different. But this resonated with me mostly because, you know, when we started the Columbia Saints, right? The idea basically was around us giving, you know, this type of kid that he speaks of an opportunity to play high level basketball, minus as much of the cost as we could do, right?
Right.
Um, So even back when we were doing it, right, the prices were still out of this world, right? But then you add, like he said, the other things that's going on. I mean, these kids got like you said, personal trainers, nutritional programs, uh, all of the above, right?
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm. Mhm.
so it can get expensive, as you said. You realizing it with your own son, who's getting into basketball and things like that. So it is unfortunate. Um, but I do, like you said, man, it without seeing the numbers, right? I do agree that from the outside looking in, that could become an issue, right? Because
Mhm.
we've seen it
Mhm.
back in our time. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Some kind of way, by God's grace, we were able to pull the resources out of our behind to
Mhm.
give these
Mhm.
dudes the opportunity to play on a high level, man. And to most, man, it was life changing for them, and that was our mission. Um, it does seem like the landscape of especially AAU basketball has changed, and it's more about what can you do for my team, um, to help me get what I need to get to, which is basically wins or get the next best kid, yada
Mhm.
yada.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I don't know, man. Like it just really brought me back to what we was doing, man, and um, that is why this definitely resonated with me. But what's interesting about this as well on this court balances post, you had some big names chime in. One being Jamil Hill, and
Mhm.
Jamil said, I'll take it one step deeper. Take a look at the coordinated attack on public education. A lot of cities, take mine, which is Detroit, have lost so many kids. Parents naturally will move to neighborhoods with better school systems, vouchers, school choice, and charter schools, undermine public education. Add in the heavy recruitment of inner city kids by private and suburban schools, and what you're left with is a public education system steadily being robbed of its resources. It's like with anything else. We've historic. It's like with anything else we've had historically. We build a product, and the product is eventually taken from us because we lack the resources to keep and maintain it. Interesting comments as well, and I think that's also to your point where you do still see some of the inner city kids making it, um, but that extra dynamic of these private schools
Mhm.
coming in and even the suburban schools coming in and poaching these kids from the city, um, to again help their program out. So, what's your thoughts on that side of it?
Um, well, again, like I just feel like it's kind of a double-edged sword, kind of like a catch-22, man. I mean, you've got people that'll come in and recruit these kids, and these kids, they know that. They know that. A lot of them are playing for that at an early age. A lot of kids are, well, they have the perception of, playing for their lives at such an early age. Like, this could really propel me to change the life of course of life of my family or whatever. In whatever way it is, whether it's through, getting them a opportunity for a better education, or maybe they are really talented to make it to the next level. So it really is, it really is a double-edged sword. That's really how I feel about it. Again, that's saying without looking at the numbers. Now, I don't know, like, I still think, um I still think there are people who are, it wasn't just, just being tough and being from the hood that made these kids, good ball players. I mean, there are some people in the inner city that are, or in these neighborhoods that are cultivating those kids. So, we're not losing all of them. There are people who are doing, um uh, good things, as far as, coaching and training that we might not hear of, every day. Every training option isn't expensive, but I do notice that, when I log on to social media now that I'm, trying to find these camps and trainings for my son, is that, I'm like this barrage of, you know how the algorithm works. It checks to see what you're looking at. Then it just sends you all these trainings and camps and this and that, and all of them cost. But it's like, that's not always, you know, that doesn't always mean that that's better than what, a kid might already have. So, for instance, my son right now, I got him training, with this guy Javon Bishop, who I hadn't heard from since until I found him, doing research, and he's really good with the kids. He's actually in his 20s, and he was a really good basketball player, um, coming up through high school and everything. And he had a medical issue, which, I think he had an enlarged heart, which prevented him from playing basketball. But I go to these training sessions, where my son is at, and he's got several other kids, and he was kind of like, I kind of get the feeling of like when we were doing it. We weren't, expensive or anything. We were just people that was trying to give back. And we have a lot of those people out there in the community. I think Javon is one of them. And he takes these kids, and not all of them are like super talented basketball players, but some of them, he's worked with, and they are, you can see that their games have improved. But I'm just saying that to say that, there still are resources there. There still are good players from these areas, and I wouldn't just, I don't know. I wouldn't look at all of this as, um so much as a negative. There's so many different ways that I'm starting to ramble now, but there's so many different ways that, somebody can, make their way out, or find success. You don't always have to go to camps. There are other resources. Now, it might help your chances depending on what camp you go to, but there are other resources out there. You just have to search for them. And it's also a call to people in the community. Um, hey, neither one of us were certified coaches. You know what I'm saying? We were just two young brothers who took initiative into into doing something for the kids around us because we saw that they needed it. And in a way, we kind of needed it too, but not in a way like we weren't looking to I didn't have any aspirations of taking that program and then, building this big profile. Now I'm this big high school basketball coach that went on the college. That wasn't the goal.
Right.
The goal be there for these. And so it's for me, it's also a call to the community. Hey man, hey, go out there. Go just spend time with the local kids. Start up a local team, whatever. It really works. And I'll say this last thing because I feel like I'm taking over now. But it's really rewarding when okay, I just saw one of our former players just the other week at one of the training sessions with my son. He was on the other side of the basketball court. And just to uh, give you an idea of how long ago it was, like we didn't I almost didn't even recognize him. He's a big dude. Shout outs to Ryan Johnson. And he comes up to me and I see him approaching me and I heard him say coach and I looked at him like, huh? And then as he walked closer, it's like, oh snap. And it was like this big, he's a big dude. And I gave him a hug with it. It just felt good to, see one of your former players and let them letting you know that hey man that had an impact on you. You could tell, man, just by the way we embrace how you doing the conversation. You could tell it makes a difference in these kids lives. Just you don't have to be a certified college trainer or nothing like that. So I don't know, that's kind of my complete thoughts on this.
Nah, I mean, you made a point that I was gonna make next. Like, albeit right, kids get caught up in the look of it, right? Um, that's kind of why we went the AAU route with it because that's what all their friends are doing it, right? I want to play AAU basketball. Um, but then they get caught up in what's going on now. Oh, such and such has a trainer he works with 3 times a week, or all of the above, right? Um, but like you said, yo, we picked we picked one of these free neighborhood courts. It's outside, and we invited a bunch of kids over there to play, right? And it will take some initiative, like we did, like it was for us. But and I'm sure there are people out here doing the same thing. Um, and I don't want to take away from this gentleman's
Hmm.
point because I think there is some truth there. And if we lose the people like us, right? If that aspect of training and teaching is dwindling down, that is an issue, right? Because it can absolutely be expensive to do these things. I know some
Yeah.
AAU programs are $900+ um, for a couple game season. Then that's not even including travel costs if they traveling and all of the above.
Hmm. Hmm.
But there are still things that can be done. You know, like I said, we found an open court outside. That's what we did. We eventually moved to being able to practice inside, but a lot of the times we still found ourselves outside because you know the, the resources didn't allow.
Right.
That's
A
all
lot
we
of our
could afford.
practices, most of our practices were
Yeah,
outside at the
yeah,
park.
yeah. That's all we could afford. But um, to your points, man, the kids loved it. And shout out to Ryan, man, being one of our kids. And you know, that is the rewarding side. We were certified coaches. We didn't have no aspirations of becoming these big time coaches, man. True and true to the heart, like our idea is exactly what we did, man, and just to give these kids an opportunity to play and play on a high level and do it at any cost. And that's what we did. It was it was a grind, man. We were sitting in gyms sometimes 10 hours. You know what I mean? 10 hours a day talking about
Yeah.
Saturday and Sundays. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
um so we just gave our time, and I guess, without us rambling, but if anybody's listening, and this clip touches you in any kind of way, that's what it is. I read the comments on dude's post. A lot of people said that to him. Like, man, well, won't you get out there and start something? And it's not his problem, right?
Right. He's
What he's
bringing
saying,
attention to it.
yeah, and what he's saying is true.
Hmm.
There's an aspect of where we grab the kid that might have been trouble, right? But people that are ingrained in coaching, they're gonna think about that now.
Hmm.
Okay, well, this kid can ball, right? But he's gonna take a lot of my time, a lot of my resources. Where I got this other kid who, you know, not getting in trouble, just as good of an athlete. You know, maybe I'll lean towards him than the other, right? Where
Hmm. Hmm.
we
Hmm.
started the opposite way, and then we welcomed everybody in. So he does have a point to that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
they use sports, and this is why I wanted Quan on too, because he could give an idea from the football side of it. But I think youth sports as a whole has kind of went down this rabbit hole. It's not just basketball now, where the training is year long. It's football, it's soccer, it's baseball. These
Yeah.
kids are playing sports all year
Yeah.
long, and it's at a huge cost to these parents, man. So it's I just thought it would be an interesting topic from where we came from, man, and the grind. But
Yeah.
I do got something for you, man. I'm gonna take you down memory lane.
Oh,
You know what
all
I
right.
mean?
All
And I want
right.
the listeners and the watchers, those who are watching, you're gonna get a treat. Those who are listening, we'll talk about it as we go along. So, as I said, man, many moons ago, we started a AAU program called the Columbia Saints. This is a few photos of us. As you can see, look how long Brandon and our shorts are. That's how long ago it was. And
I'm a silly dude.
these kids will probably kill us if they find out that we have posted these pictures. But man, Brandon, what is this?
All these guys in here.
Any memories from this picture here that that takes you down memory lanes of the grind of the Columbia Saints?
Ah, man. Many memories, man. Many memories. The grind was tough. Again, I think what the guy was saying was probably more of a call to people in the community. What's the saying? Not every hero wears a cape. Sometimes,
Right.
sometimes these boys or these girls, they just need somebody to cheer them on. Somebody that's there that's genuine with them, that cares for them and shows that by the. I think one of the main ways you show anybody that you care is that you spend your time with them, man.
Yeah.
Spend your time with them, and I think I think more so than anything, that's what they that's that's why they kind of gravitated toward us. They
Mm.
gravitated toward us. I mean, other than the fact that you clearly, Mike, you already had a relationship with a lot of these kids, and I kind of came into the picture. I came to what you started actually on the football field. When we say it was from the ground up, from the literal
Ground up.
grass ground up. Mike out here with these kids in a field in an apartment complex, going over football drills with them.
Hmm.
And from there, I come to one of the sessions. He's like, and we just start talking like, man, let's try to get them on the court
Hmm.
and just keep these boys engaged. Sometimes that's all, and being there consistently. I think once they saw that we were both there consistently, they really started to buy in. I mean, these were kids that, as far as basketball is concerned, I don't. It wasn't a while till we actually had actual basketball players walk in the gym. We had great athletes,
Right.
so it wasn't, oh, we going for the most talented kid. I mean, we welcome talent, but it was family. That was our slogan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Fam strong.
Yep.
So again, they need our time. They need our time more than our basketball expertise. And sometimes for some, that time may be all that they need. Maybe
Hmm.
they might not need you to show them the latest drill. They already got it. Just spend more time.
Facts. Here's another one, man. You somewhere in the middle of that. Brandon coaching up our young boys. I think.
I see my shiny forehead in
Yeah,
there.
there you go. I think this is when we were playing at Georgetown Prep. I think, or what was the other school? It was
Oh,
split. It was split between Georgetown Prep and
was that when we played that DC team?
yeah. I think this is when we played
Yeah,
Mike Beasley and them. I think. Well, the program he came from.
yeah,
Uh, dang, what was the
yeah.
name of that?
Our boys played hard that game.
Yeah, yeah. This was Brandon giving his look, man. If you scared, let's go ahead and sit down on the bench because
Yeah.
we, we ain't got time for that. But as you can see, this is how long ago it was. Look at the phone clip on my hip. Uh, look how long my jean shorts are. But
Wait. Go back to the one before this real quick. Look. Speaking of your wardrobe, look, this man Mike straight from work. Let me
straight
tell
from
you,
work.
man. Not every hero wears a cape. Okay, straight from work.
Straight
Let's
from
go.
work. Yeah, and this was Bullets and Georgetown Prep. The
Okay,
tournament was split
yeah.
between that, and we
Yeah.
were playing. Oh man, what was the name of that program, man? Either way,
Yeah.
it was the program that ran into the owners ran into some, he was dabbling in drugs and all of that.
Oh
Uh,
Lord.
but nonetheless, the kids still loved it. But man, I don't know if you remember, but that was right before we played that organization, and their kids were showing our kids videos of
Yep.
them
I
dunking.
remember. I remember.
And our kids was coming to us like, yo, he can dunk. And this and that. And we're like,
That's when we had to take him in that back hallway
yep,
and
yep,
give him the speech.
yep.
Like I don't care what was on that tape.
You're right.
They ain't dunking on us.
Right. We don't hear that. And we don't want to hear that. And listen, man,
Nah.
as Brandon said, we didn't have the best basketball players. We had athletes. Some of these programs we played against, man, had the like college bound talent. And I remember, and I don't know if you remember, Brandon, the coach pulling us up afterwards and saying, look, man,
He
y'all,
invited us. He
yeah,
invited us to their other events.
yeah, because it's a matter of fact, they had a big bracket in the front hallway of this tournament. And they had each team and the scores of their previous game. And as teams moved on, they put it. And this team we played beat somebody by 100 points. No lie. And Brandon,
Yo, that's gotta be a typo, yo.
yeah,
What?
Brandon and I went up to we were like, yo, this has got to be wrong. And it was like, it was like 104-4, yo. No lie.
Yeah. It was something ridiculous.
Yeah. So we were like, yo, you gotta take this down. Our kids can't see this. Because they're gonna be scared to death. And I think, yo, they might have beat us by 15.
Nah, it was close game. It was a
Yeah,
close game. I
it was
think that they
close.
beat us by it was a single digits game. We
Yeah. I don't think it was more than 10. It was between I think we kept it close for the majority of the game.
we kept it within 10. We kept it within 10 for sure.
Yeah. And that's why the coach pulled us up, man. It was like, oh, y'all just missing like a big. And he found out where we were from. And there was another program locally. He was like, man, y'all just need to take some players from there. Like, that's just how that's just how the real innards of the AAU work even back then. Like, we like, nah, man, we like working with the kids we had, man. And so we had a lot of fun, man, with that.
We did.
Here's some more clips, man. It's Lowbro Boys and Girls Club. Again, in my work shirt and the undershirt.
There we go. There we go.
Man, just coaching these boys up, man. These boys, they loved it, man.
If Mike running the huddle right now, he's telling them press.
Yep. Look, man, this is what we gonna do.
Mike throwing that 2-2-1 at from the beginning to the end, boy.
We in it. Listen, when Brandon says that, it's the truth. That very team that we said beat a team by 100 points, when we played them, We had to split. We split that game because we had two teams in the same tournament. Brandon stayed with one team. I went with one team, and we were in a separate gym. And this is what told me that they must have really beat them by 100 because we beat that team by 50, and I was still trying to press. And my kids are like, Coach, like, I mean, we up by 40. Like, yo, y'all, all right, y'all don't want to press? They like, nah. I was like, okay, all right, cool. I
That press was
respect it.
deadly.
It was deadly.
That press was deadly. We've had a couple coaches come to us say, "Yo, we ain't never see the 2-2-1 run
Oh
like that."
man. Oh man.
We had some dogs up. We had some dogs out. We had some great athletes. They might not have been basketball players when we got them, but
Athletes.
hey, boy, they could
Athletes.
play.
Here's more pictures of the Columbia States. I think this was our high school ball, man. Shout out to Gamal, who was coaching, helping us coach.
Okay, okay.
And this is at one of Brandon's favorite gyms, Laurel Boys and Girls
Oh
Club.
Lord, have mercy.
Shout out to them, man.
Yeah, shout out to the Laurel Boys and Girls Club, man. For real, you know, we had our battles. We definitely had our battles, but you know, they did a lot for. I don't know if they're still up and running, but
I don't know.
you
That's
could
a good
tell a lot of
question.
young kids came through that gym.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And then here we go again. Getting ready to get it cracking.
For sure.
Man, and look, man, one thing about this picture, uh, and I want you to talk on it too. The uniforms, yo. Like how hard we worked to get those uniforms, yo. How
Yeah, we wanted to be
hard
legit.
we worked to get those uniforms right there. You know what I mean? And the kids, that was another thing, man. A lot of them still walking around with our stuff. We ain't never get a whole bunch of it back.
We get the jerseys back for
We ain't get
sure.
the jerseys back. We had all the only joints we had left was like the numbers nobody wanted. Like, you know what I mean? Number
Even
45.
the older cats, shorter though. I think they kept their jerseys
Yeah.
too. I'm pretty sure.
They kept the jerseys. A lot of them kept the shorts, man, because it was important for us to get some. I mean, the jerseys had the letters stitched on. We wanted some real deal stuff for these kids, man, so they could be proud of it. And they were, man. And
They
you
were.
know, ultimately, all of that hard work, man, it paid off to this. We won that chip. And you see
Hey,
that banner back there, Wild Lake High School.
hey.
Shout out to Wild Lake Wildcats, Coach Jansen, McMillan over there doing his thing. But man, we got our boys a chip. They hated on us in this league because we ran through it. But you
Yeah,
know,
they did. They did.
that was the hard work. And there's Ryan right in front of me.
Yep. Yep.
that Coach Brandon said he recently ran into. But man, great times. I ain't gonna show you the picture of me and Brandon celebrating that win later on that night.
No,
But you know,
that's exclusive content.
yeah,
You have to subscribe and pay a monthly fee for
that's
that
right.
one.
You gotta join the Patreon to get those pictures right there, man.
Uh,
But great
good
times,
time.
man. We had an awesome
Yeah,
time.
good times, man.
And honestly, like Brandon said, man, from the ground up. And this is what we did. These are some of the things that we did to
Yeah.
raise money. Here we had a bowl-a-thon, and you remember Brandon, where we got people to sponsor the kids for every strike they got. They would pay $1 or something like that. But we had to get real creative in raising some of the funds for these boys, man. And like I said, and like you said, Brandon, just lifelong memories for these kids, man. I know they'd kill me
Hey.
if I showed they gonna kill me if they find out.
Yeah, because they grown men now.
They grown men. They grown men, you know, some of them with
Yeah.
their own children now. But yo, before we go, yo, just touch on like the Saints, man, and what it meant to you, and yo, the you know, the hard times, but then the rewarding times that you had and being a part of building that program and all of that.
All right, I'll try to do it without getting teary eyed. Nah, the Saints, like I said before, I mean, we did it for them, but it was satisfying for us as well. For me, it gave me, I felt like at the time it gave me a sense of purpose. Like I was actually doing something that meant something, that was worth something. And just to see, uh I'm not a hard person to please. A thank you or what's up goes along. That's what's up. That goes a long way with me, especially if it's genuine and you do it in person. It just, I don't know. I guess my love language is words of affirmation or whatever. So sometimes, those things, they just something as simple as that just fuels you. And I felt like we were the kind of like the same thing for those kids. We were like that fuel. We were their cheerleaders. Uh I've been listening to a coaching book on Audible, and in one of the books, it says the definition of coach is to help someone get to where they want to go when they can't do it themselves, and doing it with enthusiasm. That's a long, definition there, but I say that, I share that to just kind of drive home the fact that, like, I think sometimes that's all some people really need. They need somebody there. You don't have to be an expert, but if you're just more enthusiastic about their success than they are, or at least match it if they are, enthusiastic. That kind of powers them. It's like a battery power in their back, and boom, and they go and they take off. So for me, it was satisfying in that sense. Like I said, I felt like I had a sense of purpose. It was hard work, man. It was hard work. There were even times, I mean, we've been, best friends for 30 something years now. We argued then, you know. So we had every type of, I don't know, every type of battle that you can think of, and trying to get funding through through churches. Shout out to shout out to Reverend Wise, Pastor Wise. I mean,
Shout out to Pat.
um,
She just retired too. She had a
she just retired.
yep. I think she had
Pastor
a
Wise,
celebration.
Pastor Wise was very good to us, and I, if I'd never, I don't, I'm pretty sure I thanked her for all she's done. But here's another public thank you to you, Pastor Wise. Um, it it was good. It was something that we built from the ground up, man. And I was very proud of what we accomplished. Although I feel like, I feel like I mean, this is just me. I feel like we could have done more, because we're not still doing it, but we took those group of boys and we stayed with that same group of boys. We had 3 teams and we stayed with that same group until they grew up and moved on and did whatever they wanted to. And so to do that again would take a tremendous amount of energy, effort, sacrifice. We did all of that, man. We did all of that. Picking the kids up, dropping them off. We're traveling here, we're traveling there. And there were some parents that were there that supported us as well. Thank you. Shout out to all of those parents that were supporting us. It meant a lot to see all that stuff kind of come to fruition. Um, I just hope that's why anytime I see it, like I mentioned Javon earlier, anytime I see something like that, it reminds me of what we did. And I'm thankful for that. And I support that. It took one session, one trial session to be like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna pay Javon, for this time. I'm gonna give my son to him, let him train him. Cause you can tell, man, he putting in his time, man. And I respect that. I respect people in the community who do that. Um, it meant a lot to me, and I hope it meant a lot to our boys. I'm sure it did to most of them, and I just hope that we might, you know we do that again, because we talk about it a lot. I guess, like we talk about, bringing OTR back. We did a lot of dope things, man. Um, a lot of people could use our energy. I know that. We bring a lot of positive energy, and I just hope we get a chance to do that again. Um, but yeah, and it meant everything to be doing it with you, my brother from another. I mean, what better way to
Word,
do it? What better way to do it, man?
word, and I mean, you answered the question I was going to ask you. Would you get back into it? uh,
I
because
yeah, it's that time, man. We both know, like you say, life happens, man.
yeah,
We still be hanging, y'all. We still be chilling and hanging out, but like everything else is like kind of extracurricular with our families and stuff. Sounds like excuses right now, but I don't know, man. I feel like we got some more great things to do, man.
yeah, it is definitely on my list of top accomplishments. Things that I've done in my life, and uh, to piggyback a little further off what you said, man. Talking to some of these boys as grown men, I mean,
Mhm.
I think they appreciated what we did back then, but you're a kid, right? So it's
Yeah,
you just hooping, right?
yeah.
But talking to them as grown men, man, and randomly running into them, like Brandon said, he ran into Ryan, and Brian gave him this big hug, and talking to some of the other boys, man, over the years as they grew up, and they're just like, yo, that's some of the best time of my life, man. And I'm like,
It was, man.
and I'm like, wow, like, yo, you just realize the impact that you had on those boys. The tough thing about coaching, man, is you get, yeah, obviously you get real close to these kids, man, and you you forge relationships with them. They become your. And we were so young, like they became our little brothers, so to speak.
We
Um,
were.
yeah, and so like, but unfortunately, man, we lost some of them over the years, man, and that
Yeah,
part is so it tugs at you even more because of being involved and being a huge part of their lives and them being a huge part of our lives. But I would do it again, man. It was fun. It took, like you said, a lot of
took a
sacrifice, a lot
lot.
of time. Our weekends were shot, bro. Like we
They
didn't
were our
really.
weekends.
Yeah, that was our weekends, man. We in the gym. We in the gym. We practicing.
We had to remind them of that several times
Yeah.
too.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Like, hey, y'all act like y'all don't want to be here. We're
Yep.
not getting paid to do this. We're here for you.
Yep. Yep. And shout out to your brother Sean Back and Tori and all of them super cool guys walking in the gym 5 minutes
Oh,
before tip off without
oh
their
man.
uniforms on. They still had to go in the locker room and change. Nothing pissed us off more than seeing that.
Hey, when people came to see us play though,
They came to
we came to
see.
see him play.
We was box office, baby. So we definitely filled the sands, man. But yeah, great times, man. Good time going down memory lane with you, OTR
Yeah,
Brandon.
for
Uh
sure.
I was going to record this one solo, but I was like, let me see what Brandon's doing because obviously we went through this journey together. So
Yeah, for
that's
sure. I'm
another
glad you hit me
episode.
up, man.
Yeah, that's another episode of Open Mic, man. We appreciate you checking in. Brandon, I mean, yeah, I know you kind of hate social media. I don't know if you want to tell these people where they can find you. I don't know if you want them finding you or what, but
Oh man.
anyway, they can
Um,
check you out.
let's see if I remember my social handles. Uh, not I'd be on social media. I'd be on Twitter, blocking Knicks fans. At OTR. You can find me at OTR Brandon or at OTR underscore Brandon. Facebook, excuse me, Twitter, IG, and I'm on Facebook. My first name dot last name. You look once you get to my profile. My links are there.
So there.
Um, so yeah,
Yeah, follow Brandon. If you're a Knicks fan, he might block you, but uh,
don't
follow
say no
anyway.
ridiculous shit.
And of course, I'm OTR Mike, man. You can follow me on Twitter and TikTok at OTR underscore Mike, OTR Mike underscore on Instagram. For all my audio listeners, man, the show is available on all your favorite podcast streaming platforms. Check it out there. Give me a 5-star rating. For those of you watching on YouTube, if you aren't already subscribed, subscribe. Hit that like button, hit that bell, do all of the above. I'm on the road to 300 subscribers, then 500 subscribers, then 500 million subscribers.
Hey, 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 hey.
Something along that line. But anyway, man, I appreciate y'all checking in. That's another episode of Open Mic. I'll catch y'all in about a week. We
Sure.
out. Peace.
Peace.